Hello dearest, welcome back to my channel. This is Maafeli. I am glad to be with you all once again as I share with you two of my easiest way of making tomato sauce at home, especially when tomatoes are in season. I usually do this so that I'll keep a lot of tomato sauce in my freezer to help me cover my bag when tomatoes are out of the system. This prevents me from spending a lot of money on tomatoes when they are scarce. So I believe this recipe will be useful to you as well. So let's go right ahead and get started. So I start by washing my tomatoes twice very nicely, making sure that it's very clean and nice. And once I am done, this is how it looks. Just look at the way it looks. It is very nice and beautifully washed. So once I am done washing, I will cut them into pieces just like the way you see me doing it, and then transfer them into the bowl nicely. Now, if you're new to my channel, we'll be delighted to have you join us by subscribing to my YouTube channel, adding on the bell so that you will not miss out in any upload that I make. Share, comment, and also like my recipes. And to my returning viewers, thank you so much for watching my videos and sharing them. So once I am done, I'll transfer them into the pot nicely and cover it to release its own natural juices. Here I only cut a little bit into the pot so that it will release juices nicely the way I want it. So I will stir to make sure that it has released its own natural juices under it. This will help us not to add water to it and also will not burn under. So I will go ahead and add the remaining of the tomatoes to it until it is full, and then I will stir and make sure that they are all combined and releasing juice nicely and cover it well very nicely. I will keep on stirring like this periodically until it boils and becomes very tender, just like this. Okay, this will prevent us from adding water and also makes it easy for us to blend. So I will allow it to cool down very nicely, and once it cools down, I will transfer it into the blender and add onions to it and blend into a smoother consistency. Adding the onions to it makes it to smell very good and taste very good and better, and when you use it for your soup or your stew, it comes out very perfect and tasty. But it is totally optional, but I think adding it is very important as well. So I will blend it until it is smooth, and once it is smooth, I will just take it out and transfer it into the pot nicely on the fire, and I will keep on blending and repeating the same process until I am done with the amount of tomatoes and onions that I need. I will leave everything in the description box for you all to check it out, the amount of tomatoes and the equivalent to the onions that you need to blend. So once I am done, just look at it. I'm going to stir it to prevent it from burning. So I will stir periodically and cover it to cook very nicely, and then we move to our second method. For my second method, what I do is to cut some of the tomatoes into smaller pieces and transfer into the blender and blend it into a smoother consistency. This one will help us not to add water into the tomatoes, so that we'll get a very smooth and beautiful tomatoes, and cooking it will be easier. So once I am done blending it, I'll add the remaining of the tomatoes to it nicely. Doing it this way helps a lot so that you will not add water to it and you get a base under it to blend it smoothly. So once I am done, I'll just add the onions to it as well and then blend into a smoother consistency.
Continental food mistress, international food madam.
Maafeli's kitchen fair.
Once I am done blending, I will transfer it into the pot and leave some of the tomatoes under it. This one will help us not to add any water to it, just like this, and then I'm going to blend the remaining, repeating the same process by leaving some of the tomatoes under it for easy blending of the remaining tomatoes left. So I will keep on doing it like this until I am done blending all my tomatoes. So once I am done, I will stir it very nicely, and I'm cooking it on a medium heat. So I will stir it to make sure that it's not sticking under the pot, and I will cover it to boil and stir periodically. The reason why I cover it is because of this. Just look at that, because when it is getting thicker it splash, so covering it helps to prevent it from messing up everywhere on your stove and also burning yourself. So once it's becoming thicker like this, when you are stirring, use a long spatula so that you will not burn yourself. Okay, and back to our first method, just look at that. I repeat the same process as well by stirring it with a long spatula. So these are the two methods I use for making my tomato sauce at home. So I'll cover it the same way until they all cook and become thick, just like this. Just look at the way it looks. It is very nice and perfect at this point. So once it is thick like this, you have to allow it to cool down completely, and once it cools down, you can start to bag them in an airtight container or even use ice cube tray. So I am going to keep them in an airtight containers like these ones, and then shake them nicely, cover them beautifully, and also the remaining I'm going to keep them in an ice cube tray and keep them in my freezer for a very long time. This one will keep long in my freezer, and I will have my bag covered without any worry at all. Whenever I come back from work and tired, I do not need to go through the stress of cutting tomatoes or even looking for tomatoes in the market. With these ones in my freezer, I can cook within 30 minutes and food will be ready to be enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching, and I believe this video is useful and beneficial to you. If you do consider this video beneficial to you, do give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share if you have not done that yet. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. This is Maafeli. Thank you so much for subscribing, and always remember, at Maafeli we believe in the old adage, your health is your wealth, so be mindful of what you eat. And until I see you in my next video, stay safe, fit and healthy. Nyamre boa yeke ye biako. Bye.